So this is the latest puzzle by GAN, by GAN Cube, whatever it's called, and it's the most pricey one as well, coming in at $65 on the cubicle.com. Also another version to this puzzle called the soft coated one, or basically I think it's a softer plastic, and it comes in at $5 more than the original GAN11 Pro. I'm not really going to go over the specs of the puzzle. I'll leave the link to where you can purchase the cube in the comments down below. So in a pinned comment, there's the link to where you could purchase this puzzle. The only spec I'm going to go over is that the weight is 63 grams. So it can be pretty unmanageable at times with its weight. And yeah, it's just like it's also 56 millimeters, just like every other GAN cube coming out these days. Yeah, it's 56 millimeters, even though the name doesn't say it's a 356 product. It's not part of the 356 line, but I just wanted to mention that it's still 56 millimeters. So the main differences between this cube and on older GAN's puzzles, the 356 XS and below, is that the GAN11 Pro M comes in primary internals, and the magnets aren't that adjustable. As you're seeing on this XS, the internals are black, unlike the Pro. This cube also seems to use the same tensioning system as the GAN XS and has magnet-filled core. Well, honestly, that sounds very familiar because this cube has pretty much the exact same system that the GAN 356 XS had. Yeah, right. This cube, the GAN11 Pro M, has an older system that's the exact same as an older cube, which signifies to me that this is another copy. Differentiation between cube designs, and also the fact that this cube comes in 4 versions: a UV coated one, and also the soft plastic one. I can't even follow up on that too. And it doesn't help the fact that they're all over $60. So you can't really test one another. You have to watch you sometimes have to watch really unreliable sources, or like really unreliable YouTube videos, just to see which version is the best. So it's really hard to follow up on. It doesn't really help much. It's not really a help. Yeah, yes, it's pretty mediocre. It's helpless. Yeah, so the other versions of this puzzle don't really satisfy or help its performance too much. But anyways, let's move on to turning. The turning of this puzzle, just like any other GAN cube, it's pretty much the same. Super soft and buttery, and sometimes versatile. You could use many different lubes on this puzzle, and it's just really nice. It feels, it has the mixture. It basically has a mix of an MGC, so of a YJ MGC. So it has the crunchiness. It has the crunchiness of the MGC and the softness of something like a Tangyun. If you could hear that. Yes, and just really soft and buttery overall, and very customizable. And as I solve it out, the puzzle does lose a little versatility, and just becomes flat and smooth overall. This cube is also really fast, insanely fast, in fact. And when you pair that with its really light weight of only 63 grams, it can be pretty hard to manage and control sometimes. Actually, a lot of the time, it's very hard to control and manage. And honestly, the fact that there's magnets the magnets being in the core as well. Not only is there magnets in the edges of this cube, but it's also in the core as well. That doesn't really help much at all. The magnets don't really do much to the puzzle. They're not really as customizable as older GAN cubes. And overall, it's really too confusing. It's just too confused in what it wants to be. There's too many versions. They're too expensive, and yeah. And as you saw in the clip of me turning this cube, if you turn it the wrong way, you can get some pretty nasty lockups. And yeah, so yes. And also the corner cutting of this thing is a little bit weird. It's pretty snappy. Or it does, here's the thing. Well, Well, here, it does basically, like any other cube these days, cuts pretty far. So does the GAN11 Pro M. It cuts pretty much as well as any other standard GAN cube out there, and any other cube in general. But it's just a little bit weirder. It doesn't always do the angles I prefer. And I really wish there was a new spring tensioning system for this cube, because then it would really help out the corner cutting. It would really help out the corner cutting a lot more. So overall, I really do like this cube. In all my years of cubing, I've never used a cube as unique and fun to solve as this cube. I've just been using it. I've never used a cube as unique and fun to solve since my Thunderclap V2 days, which was a while ago. I really have been enjoying solving this cube despite what I've said in my review. The feel is unique. I recommend you buy this cube for the feeling. It's very buttery and versatile, and you could use it for a lot of different things. And I just really think it's a good cube, despite, this cube has a really nice feeling. I've been using it a lot because of that. I've been solving on it a lot. And the one thing, again, as I just said, I recommend you buy this cube for the buttery and versatile feeling. For the price, it has a great feeling. Great feeling for the price. And however, as for the performance, it's pretty much another story. It's a different story. This cube, it has a lot of, the performance hasn't really been improved, is my main issue with this cube. The performance is not improved, from the first, it's not improved from the previous GAN cubes. This is their first expensive GAN cube in a while, so I was expecting it to perform like a charm, perform really well and nicely. And I mean, this cube, it doesn't perform terribly, but the fact that the tensioning system, the excess tensioning system is on this cube and they didn't go with a different design limits this cube. Oh, holy crap, I keep messing up. I was around 10 seconds as too slow, 14 seconds, whatever. But anyways, the fact that, this newer cube, this newer puzzle uses this newer GAN puzzle uses the same tensioning system as a previous GAN puzzle that was from 2019, the GAN XS. It just limits this cube's performance a lot more. And I was expecting a lot more. The 4 versions, they're not really necessary, honestly. The 4 versions, they're not a necessity. For example, the UV coated one and the soft plastic coat, I cannot even keep up with their names as well. Those, I think there should be one version. I mean, the cube has a better, much nicer feeling than a 354 V2, but I kind of think the performance is better on the 354 V2 than it is on this newer GAN cube. And by the way, that was, I think, an 11-second solve around that time. But anyways, the performance is better on the GAN. What I'm saying is, this cube has a great feeling, but it doesn't, have the best performance. What should I mean? The cube that I like solving on the most, or the cube that has the best performance? Now, that decision is ultimately up to you, whether you want to main this cube or not. But what I'm saying is, the 4 versions, it's a versionless mess. It's a versionless mess, is what I'm saying. The versions, there's 4 versions that are insanely expensive. So if you want to get one version, you're gonna have to watch a YouTube video and do a lot of hard thinking. Most people don't want to do that. So yeah, it's just, I only, this cube, honestly, what I've been saying so far about the specs, honestly, I would consider giving the, spec-wise, I consider giving this cube I consider giving this cube a 2 out of 2 points, just because of the specs alone. But the performance and the overall, newness of the cube knocks it down to a 1.5 out of 2 points. But honestly, it is what it is. If you're happy with your current GAN cube that you're having or you're maining, then that's fine. If you're happy with that cube, if you're happy with your current 3x3, and you don't yet have the GAN the GAN11 Pro M, then I just recommend sticking. I just recommend sticking to that cube and not getting the GAN11 Pro. But again, if you want a nice ass feeling GAN cube, then get the GAN11 Pro M. I mean, it's actually not really overpriced. It's not an overpriced cube at all. It's just the right price. However, it's going to be up to you whether you want to pay for that features for the $65 price. To me, I wouldn't, if I want to buy this cube, I wouldn't for the, I just don't think that the features that it includes are worth the price. But that's up to you guys to decide. The final score of this puzzle is a 1.6 out of 2 points. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. This is my first cubing review that I've done in a while. See ya on the next video. Bye. See ya.